Terry, we're live. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Creating Cultures that Outperform. We're on episode 22 or 23, Terry. What is this?
This is 23.
Episode 23.
Is it 23 now? I'm wondering, are we on 23 or what are we on?
22 or
There's so many.
23,
Yes,
but I
it
don't
is
know.
23.
I think it is
Yeah,
23. So it is
it
the
is
meeting
23.
monster. Now, I don't know if you've ever worked with one of these people where the solution to every single thing is a meeting. And I love this character that ChatGPT came up with because that is
Yes.
kind of the meeting monster, really, with that face. Let's meet about it.
Yes.
So
I
it's
love
great.
that chief meeting officer.
Yeah, chief meeting officer. It's great. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about this personality type today, but please stay tuned because we still have so many more great episodes to go through. You can see over here on the right we have the meeting monster, we got the drama magnet, the status quo defender, the firefighter, the overthinker. These are real people. Some are much more jerky than others, but they're all a problem, because they slow things down. Some of them absolutely are in the way all the time. And so I hope you're enjoying this series. We've really tried to do a good job on this one because these personality types matter and you should know how to deal with them. So who is a jerk at work? Tara, why don't you summarize who this person is?
This person feels like another meeting is just the answer to everything. No matter what the question is, the
Yeah,
answer is going to be, let's have another meeting. Let's talk about it. They never have enough meetings and they think everything is important enough to schedule a meeting. They want to circle back after they've had a meeting. They want to have another meeting. They just never really want to get to a point where things are moving and they have solutions. They
yeah,
really are just chasing that next meeting after meeting after meeting. And it's not so much that you're having the meetings. The problem is you don't have people taking responsibility and taking action. So that's really
yep.
who that person is. They're just confusing activity with progress. They're using meetings to either avoid making decisions or to just prolong the decision making process. So they're afraid to go ahead and make the choice. So they want to keep meeting about it, keep thinking about it, keep mulling it over. They just really want to have more meetings. They want to include people that don't really have to be involved. Like it's just a suck of time is really what it
Yeah.
is. It's just that monster trying to waste your time. They really believe that the meeting is the right way to go. That having more meetings is the right way to go.
It's interesting, these personality types are people with low social need strength who don't need much interaction with others. These people with the high social need strength, they've always got to have people around. They got to be in the middle
Mhm.
of everything. I think
Yeah.
some of that enters into this too. They just like getting together with people. And
Yeah.
any excuse to get a group of people together around them, they feel good about it. And they don't necessarily want to make a decision because they want to meet with you again. Woo! More
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
That meeting about the meeting, I cannot stand that. That
Oh
is
my
just
God,
the
the
most frustrating
worst.
thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times you get in these meetings and there are meetings that should have been an email or a chat message. They really have just missed the mark when it comes to this. They really think that spending time with people is being productive, which
Right.
we're all about building cultures that outperform. So yes, spending time with people is important. But when spending the time starts to impede progress, that's when you have a problem.
Right. Intelligent collaboration.
That's right.
Um, oh, look at this. What they I and what do they
What?
do? This is great.
Yay.
I love when an error creeps into the deck. I mean, that is great. So what do they
Yeah.
say and what do they do? I mean, this first one is just classic. Well, let's circle back on
Mhm.
that,
Yep.
which is a way to say, I'm going to get another invite out. We got to talk about this a little bit more. Schedule some time. How about a
Mhm.
larger group? Maybe that'll be the solution, Tara, right?
Yeah.
Or let's have another working session. We'll
Oh,
discuss this offline. Oh, wait, no, that won't work. We need everybody to attend. So let's get back together. I mean,
yeah.
it's
That
amazing.
working session, it's just like, ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Can we not just read and think? There are times when you need a working session. There are
Yeah.
perfectly good times when you're trying to brainstorm, you're trying to come up with new ideas, you're trying to solve a problem. All of those are great times to have a working session. Having a working session to determine what's going to go on the agenda is just insanity.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways to do it today in these social tools and stuff, right? To get everybody together in and open a chat and just come up with it in
Mhm.
2 minutes. What are we going to
That's
cover?
right.
And, unfortunately, people do such a bad job defining what the purpose of a meeting is generally that people
Mhm.
don't have the right to say, I'm not coming because they don't know enough about it. And then they get there and find out
Right.
it was a total waste of their time. And this whole thing over on the right, add people just in case. So
Just
annoying, super annoying. Yeah, these folks are just a major, major time wasters, no doubt
yeah.
about it.
You don't get to any decisions in those meetings. You're
No,
really just meeting to be meeting, and then you're scheduling follow-ups to discuss the previous meeting, and then you're meeting about the meeting, and it's just a waste of time. It's really
yeah.
just a colossal waste of time.
And I mean, when you look at the folks in this room, that's what the meeting monster does. People eventually just so completely frustrated.
Yeah,
Look at them stare, so you're like, oh my
they're
God, are you
exhausted
kidding? Yeah.
from all
It's
the
like, are you
meeting.
kidding? We're going to meet on this again? It's
Yeah,
crazy. And so,
yeah,
they have a lot of negative impacts. Certainly, the biggest is productivity. They don't get stuff done because for them, the fun is the meeting. They love it.
yeah. I
Another
love
meeting,
this.
the coffee mug, love it.
Yeah,
That is true.
meetings make us stronger.
Yeah.
Director of calendar occupancy.
Right.
Those are just hilarious. Like,
That is good.
I
Yeah.
don't have a time problem. You have a priorities problem. Like, exactly. This is not
Yeah.
about just one more meeting. Like, it really is about how you're sucking the life out of people. Morale just really starts to suffer when people get frustrated, they're tired, and they stop engaging. They really
Yeah.
will stop coming to the meetings when they realize, oh, this is just another time monster. They'll stop, and then if they do come to the meeting, they'll bring their laptop and work on other things. They will not be physically engaging
They
in the
can't
meeting.
afford to invest that much time in
No,
nonsense. Yeah,
they'll just
exactly.
start working on other things during that time. So either way, you're going to lose people.
You're going to lose them. You're not going to get the decisions made. And the only person that can really correct this is the boss. They've
That's
got to
right.
come along. They've got to sit them down. They've got to set clear expectations on here's how you're going to run a meeting. Next time you're having a meeting, I'm going to come. I want you to invite me. And here's what I expect. And you got to do it. And they've got to be
Yeah,
put on the spot because the only way to do it is to coach them and hold them accountable. That's it.
yeah,
Very clear expectations on how to run a meeting. And yeah, they're major trouble, these people.
yeah. You really do have to keep the guardrails on them, because if you turn them loose, they're going to just continue to meet, 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 meet. But you've got to set some hard deadlines for them and
Oh
set
yeah.
some decision gates. At this point, we need to have a decision. And at this point, we need to take the next step. Every step of the way, you have to hold them accountable and force them down the path of getting something done. Otherwise, the only thing they will have accomplished at the end is more meetings.
Yeah. When they come in and there's that coffee on the side ready to go, that's like, oh man, coffee, this is going to be a great conversation because they
Yeah,
just love it.
yeah,
And the antidote, of course, is to set up and require people to run great meetings. Now, when we were out working on productivity as people productive in companies, and we always had the questions about how effective are meetings, and you find that in almost every company, meetings are terrible. They're so unproductive. People don't do the basics. They don't agree on a clear agenda. They don't invite the minimum list of people who are needed to get to a solution. I mean, all these things you see here, people just don't do it, and they just they send the meeting invite out and show up and try to kind of run it by the seat of their pants. In general, that's what
right.
I found.
Yeah, when people don't really know what the meeting is all about, a lot of times they won't attend. And then they could have been a very important person that was needed in that meeting, but because you didn't set the foundation for that meeting to be successful, you don't have the right people in the room. So, this whole slide is really just about making sure that when you have a meeting, that you know why you're doing it. You've got the right people in the room. You have a plan for success. So you've got a plan to get through what needs to get done, got to facilitate it, and then you've got to drive to some action. Any follow-ups, the whole follow-up cannot just be, let's have another meeting. You've got to really get people to
Yeah.
some decision and then taking some next steps. So people have to own the action items. There's
Yeah.
nothing worse than coming out of a meeting with a list of action items and don't know who's going to do anything.
Well, no
anything.
follow-up. I mean, I
You
think
don't
one
have
of the great
any
things
owners.
with AI is, you can get the minutes of the meeting out and you can have agentic AI as long as you've put down who the owners are. You can
Yeah,
have agentic AI follow up.
yeah.
You
You
can.
you can use all kinds of tools to help you with this and make it interactive so that people can actually stay on track. You can create dashboards with to-do lists so that everybody has visibility, different kinds of Kanban boards or whatever you want to use. There's so many tools. I don't even want to go down the list of
Yeah.
trying to name them all. But you need some visual way for people to stay on top of what's due and when it's due. And
Yeah.
those are key things that you have to decide in the meeting. Like you have to set some boundaries and some guidelines for the action items. And then who's going to follow up? Who's going to own it? Who's going to complete it? And when are they going to be done? All of
Yep.
those things are just part of making that meeting more successful so that it's not just another social gathering, which is what the meeting monster wants to make it.
Right. And that is, in fact, what happens in a lot of meetings, even when it's not the meeting monster running it, right?
That's right.
Unfortunately, people don't run good meetings. I hate to say
They
it.
don't.
So if you happen to be a meeting monster, here's some things you should do and help the people out who work around you, and Tara, maybe you want to go over this quickly or
Yeah. So, you've got to take some ownership. And as a leader, these are some things you can do to help tame that meeting monster. You really do have to give them some things to focus on. So these 5 commitments is really just about having them focus on that purpose for every meeting, having the right people in the room. We're going to prepare in advance and know what we're talking about. We're not just going to get in the room and go by, off the cuff and do everything on the fly. We're going to have some focus and respect for people's time. We're not just going to come in here and just, my old band director used to say lollygag all the time. He's like, stop that lollygagging.
Yeah.
I was very young then when I was in the band, like 4th grade. And I'm like, lollygagging? What is lollygagging? Like, you don't
Yep.
even know what he's talking about. But, you can't just sit in the room and play all day. You really have to have some focus and respect people's time. And absolutely, you have to have some action after the meeting. You really do have
Yeah,
to,
you do.
like I said before, you've got to have an action item list. You've got to have the owners. You've got to have due dates. You got to have next steps for everything. It just will not be a productive meeting if you don't do that.
And if you're their boss, you've got to put your coaching hat on and just
Mhm.
apply this and make sure that
Yeah.
they start to run effective meetings and make sure that they don't schedule meetings that were unnecessary. Because
That's
people
right.
aren't looking for get-togethers. They got shit they got to get done.
You've got so many things that have to be done. You
So
don't want
many.
to feed this meeting monster by just
Yeah.
continuing to sit in those meetings and not say anything, not try to direct the meetings in a healthier direction. You've really got to start taking ownership as the leader and not allow this behavior to continue. And here are
Yeah.
some great tips for you to do, some things that you can have the meeting monster focus on. And then as well as yourself and encouraging them, hold yourself accountable. Get
Yeah.
some feedback from people that are sitting in the meetings. And we gave you that antidote. Look at it. Actually help people walk through it. You've got to coach them through this to help them be better at meetings. And if you see that this person is not changing, which, some people, that's just how they're wired. They don't get it. They don't understand. You've got to move them out of that position of being able to schedule these meaningless meetings.
Oh, yeah. And if you're a peer, you have the right to say, no, I'm not coming unless these things happen. Because
Mhm.
it's last meeting I went to was just a complete waste of time. And I'm not doing that again. I got things to do. And
Yeah.
so you got to push back. These people will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And so listen, we're here every Wednesday, 3 o'clock with another episode. We have a great one coming, the drama magnet. I've seen a lot of these drama people around over
Yeah.
time. And we're going to talk about who they are and how do you really handle them because no one needs that much drama in the workplace. So I hope you can
Yeah.
join us next Wednesday, 3 o'clock.
Yes. Bye for now.